Welcome everybody to the X Factor Podcast, Episode 4, Part 1 of today's episode, and we're going to be talking about AEW Dynamite. I also told you yesterday I was going to be doing a list of my favorite wrestlers, tag teams, women wrestlers, and all that. I will be going over that, and then I also got some I'm going to be doing tomorrow. Tomorrow or Saturday, whenever. I don't post on Sundays, so no podcast on Sundays there. So the first match they had up was Orange Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. The first matchup, I thought it was an interesting match. Like I said yesterday, I wanted Jay Lethal to win. He didn't come out with the win. Orange Cassidy did, but you know, they've been going after this rivalry for a while now. More like feud. It'd be like once every couple months they'd rejoin it. And every time they have a match, they never disappoint. I enjoy every time they have a match together. So great to see that match. It was a good match. And then after the match, Jeff Jarrett came out and took out Orange Cassidy. And while we're already talking about the Orange Cassidy and Jeff Jarrett thing, as you know, Jeff Jarrett will be facing Orange Cassidy next week, and the title is now called the International title. An announcement made last night. My personal opinion on it, when they said a special announcement, I thought something like special, you know. When you think special announcement, I thought someone signed there, I thought whatever, you know. But then Tony Khan ended up saying there was an upgrade to the belt, and I'm like, you changed the title, you changed the name, which is, I like it, don't have a problem with it. But, you know, when you're saying it's an upgrade to the belt and it's a big announcement, that's not really a big announcement. You know, Orange Cassidy will face Jeff Jarrett next week, and the title change. All right, that's not big news. It's just, okay, it's news. You know, that's news that they're going to bring out. So, and Tony Khan looked cracked out of his mind. Oh, my God. That man he looked cracked. Let me tell you. So, that was the end of that match. And I also talked about the segment there. I think Ricky Starks came out after that. I believe he did, and he was talking about what's next for Ricky Starks. And like I was telling you, I said I don't know what's next for Ricky Starks. I didn't know. I thought maybe Adam Cole, Hangman, or whatever, maybe Punk, whoever, you know, comes back, and then all I hear is Bullet Club music. And I'm like, Jay White's here, and well, it ends up being Juice Robinson, which we haven't seen in months on Dynamite. So, and not many people were excited because they all thought it was Jay White. So that was that. And with Juice Robinson, though, it's not what we expected, but I still think later on down the road, I think it'll be good. So, after that, Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue. First off, I know people have been hating on the rivalry with the Outsiders and the full-blown groom, whatever, people. But I am honestly, after what happened last night, with Ruby Soho being in the group, I think they might have a turn in I think there might be a turn coming around with this rivalry right here. Because the promo Ruby Soho had last night was amazing. And with Saraya, she's right. When she came back, a lot of people were already on Saraya, on her ass about everything. So I wasn't even the biggest fan of Saraya. I'm still not now. But they didn't really have a long good match. It was an alright match. Ruby Soho ended up with the win, and then they tried painting the L on her, and Willow Nightingale came out in a surprise, trying to confront Ruby Soho, and Toni Storm and Saraya took her out. And the more I was thinking about last night, the more I keep thinking we could potentially have, if they keep going with this until June, July, whenever Blood and Guts is, they can have their first ever women's Blood and Guts match. And I know that's not something a lot of people want to see, but hey, they got fucking women war games going on and women Hell in a Cell matches. And I know Blood and Guts is way different. You get more blood and all that for that. But if you get the right people who want to bleed and who's not going to get sick bleeding or whatever, a women's Blood and Guts match might be the way to go for that. As much as people hate on it, I think that'd be pretty fun to see. Let's see here what happened after this. I believe it was AR Fox and Top Flight for Jericho Appreciation Society. Or no, it was Hangman. I believe Hangman. And Hangman looked beat up last night. Last night. He looked terrible. And well, he really proved that, if you want to come after Hangman, come on out. He's gonna rip you apart. And yeah, he pretty much said that him and Moxley are done. Pretty much that's all he really said. He said as far as he knows, them two are done. So that was pretty much that. Top Flight versus Jericho Appreciation Society. And Jericho Appreciation Society came with the win, and they had a promo after, pretty much saying, they want to cut on more contenderships, and it's been a year that they've been on. Like, they've only had one match, and well, there's something I was talking with my brothers last night, and one of my brothers said, just Chris Jericho taking one of the momentum of other trios. If you really think about it, what other trios have big momentum besides House of Black, The Elite, and you could say AR Fox and Top Flight, but they're 1-3 as this year. They only have that one win. Otherwise they've been losing a lot of them. I think 2 of them have came to The Elite. But they are good. So besides Top Flight, Jericho Appreciation Society, which I'm going to talk about them in a second here. The Elite and House of Black, there's not really many trios that you can really say that are, right there for momentum-wise for a title shot. And then, the Elite came out. And one thing that caught my eye with the Elite, Don Callis, Brandon Cutlet, whatever you want to fucking call him, and Mike Azawa, whatever you fucking call him, he too, the other bullshitter guy. None of them were out there, so I was like, okay, interesting. And then Don Callis just runs out and takes Kenny's microphone, and I was sitting there confused, like, why is he taking Kenny Omega's microphone like that? I'm like that, like even Kenny was like, what the hell? So I don't know if that's just a little, just Don Callis being Don Callis, or that's something that they're going to be doing later on down the road with, like I said the other day, Konosuke and Kenny down the road, maybe. Maybe, we never know. So, and plus, if that does happen, then I'm pretty sure Kenny will be leaving AEW, in my opinion. So, next week it'll be Jericho Appreciation Society versus The Elite versus House of Black for the Trios title in a triple threat. I think House of Black's going to win, but I would like to see Jericho Appreciation Society win. As much as I hate that group in particular, they have been red hot as heels throughout this pretty much the entire year. They have been on the Heat radar all year since they started, so seeing them with the Trios titles will be fun, but, why would you just let the House of Black only have the title for 2 weeks and then get rid of it? But, we've seen that the other night with our main event, which I'll be talking about here in a little bit. And by the way, I'm going to go back to some of these matches because I feel like my reactions are too long. Well, they're more like reviews. I just talk about them and, I don't really react. With Orange Cassidy and Jay Lethal, I'm going to start putting up, what's next for that after that. Orange Cassidy and Jay Lethal. What's next for Orange Cassidy? Well, first off, Jeff Jarrett. After Jeff Jarrett, I don't really know because they just put him up in random matches. They don't put him up in these big storylines for the title. You have a guy challenge another guy, boom, they have a match. And Jay Lethal, I still think he should be the international champion right now. Because I don't think Orange Cassidy has had the type of title reign that I expected, at least. I thought, Orange Cassidy was good to be... Like, when Pac had the title, he was defending it every week all around the country. And Orange Cassidy, I don't think he really defended it outside of Dynamite or Rampage. So, that's really... And plus, he's not really much of a talker. He just says, okay, I don't care, cool, all that stuff. And I'm... Wrestling-wise, I like Orange Cassidy. As a talker, well, wrestling-wise is pretty much the only thing I like about Orange Cassidy, pretty much. So, that's that. Jay Lethal, Jay Lethal's he's one of the best in AEW, and I will say that multiple times. One of the best. I don't care what you say. He is one of the best in AEW. So, and if, potentially going to be one of the best in Ring of Honor as well. So that could be that right there. Also, what's next for Ruby Soho and Sky Blue? Sky Blue, she had 3 wins in a row, last week or so. So she had big momentum coming into the match. And, she lost. I'm pretty sure she's going to get involved. Her and Willow Nightingale are going to be involved in that little rivalry soon. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on pretty much anyone who is die-hard AEW versus the Outsiders, pretty much, at this point. So, yeah. Let's see here. Ricky Starks, we already seen what's going to be next for Ricky Starks. Juice Robinson and Ricky Starks are going to be next. Like I said, I think it's going to be good. I don't... Ricky Starks with his, and, like, he gets compared to The Rock a lot, and I can understand why. The style he wears, the talk, he can do it. He's just like The Rock doing it. It's like The Rock's freaking son. I don't even know if Rock has a son, but yeah, and then Juice Robinson, of course. We haven't seen him in a while, so it's good to see him back on Dynamite. And Adam Page, well, we've seen that when I'm going to review this match. John Silver, Dark Order versus the Combat Club, and the Combat Club ended up with the win, and Combat Club turned heel. I like that Wheeler Yuta and Moxley turned heel, because, I kind of expected it from them too. But for Claudio to turn heel, I am not a big fan of that one. I haven't really been a big fan of Claudio being in the Combat Club at all since he showed up. It's like great to see him, but like, why are you with him? I get you hit hard, you do what they do, but it's not really. You're the Ring of Honor World Champion, and yet you're the second guy on the group. So, but again, Moxley is always gonna be the number one guy on that group, because it's just Mox. So. Hangman did end up coming out to save Dark Order after the match. So it looks like we might get this year's Blood and Guts match right here. Dark Order and the Combat Club. How they're going to get the rest of the people, I don't know. But as long as they build it up great, which sometimes they don't build a lot of things up great, that will be the Blood and Guts matchup in June or July, whenever that's at. So... in the main event, Wardlow versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Wardlow, like I said, his car got broken into, and when I first got into, like, when I first watched AEW, or before AEW last night, I said, this is probably real. I didn't think this was a storyline until they started, showing it a lot and talking about it. And I'm like, well, we found out this is a storyline injury, or storyline, whatever. So, and then Wardlow was like, let's have Falls Count Anywhere. I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to have a Falls Count Anywhere main event. 2 big guys beefing meat on Dynamite. So it started out in the parking lot. And, they went all the way to the ring, and we had a table spot, which I love to see. Wardlow did a freaking swanton off the table. And they got up near the announce table, and I thought Wardlow was gonna powerbomb through the announce table, and then a surprise, QT Marshall showed up and helped, and him and Powerhouse Hobbs powerbombed Wardlow off the stage, and Powerhouse Hobbs ended up winning, and Wardlow ends up becoming the shortest TNT title reign of all time. One thing about QT Marshall, though, when they were showing the QTV stuff, I thought it was the All Access logo or whatever. That's what I thought they were going to call it. The QTV or whatever. And then I realized QT Marshall is still in AEW, and I realized it on his shirt, and I'm like, what the hell is that? I know a lot of people were confused and didn't like the ending, or like didn't know why QT was coming out. But, QT always said that he had Powerhouse Hobbs back, and he and whatever. And we're gonna find out next week why he did it. So, and that's one thing I like about shows, when you have a show coming in, and yet you leave with more questions than answers. Especially with that, because like a lot of them, I feel like we got answers out of for a lot of these storylines that they're doing. But last night at the ending, I liked how they got why is he there? Why is he helping Powerhouse Hobbs? And that's something that we're gonna wait until next week. Either if you care or not, they're gonna go on with that. Wardlow loses it after 3 days. What's next for Wardlow, though? I think he should go after the world title. I do think he should go after the world title. I think he should be the one to beat MJF. I thought CM Punk for the longest time, but since Wardlow no longer has the belt, give Wardlow that chance. Give Wardlow versus MJF another shot at Double or Nothing at this year's Double or Nothing. 1 year after the match, have another one for the AEW title. I think that's where Wardlow ends up with the win and becomes an AEW champion. Next for Powerhouse Hobbs, he is the TNT champion. And I think he's gonna have a long title reign. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think he's gonna have one of the longest TNT title reigns in AEW history. Especially with QT there with him, so they're gonna be really getting some good shit out of it. So I can't wait to see that. That was the end of Dynamite. Impact is on tonight. We got a couple matches on there tonight that they're going to be going through. I will be reviewing that tomorrow. So I did tell you I was going to do this, but I also told you I was going to be doing another thing. Oh, by the way, another thing. Brian Cage is reportedly going to free agency. He is going to be a free agent, I believe, after Supercard of Honor at the end of the month. And WWE is reportedly interested in signing him. I love Brian Cage. And I think this past year or so, Brian Cage has not been booked right on AEW. Whether if he's in Ring of Honor or not, I still think he should get shown more. There was a couple times last year and early this year we seen him. So that's that. But also, give me a minute here. Bryan Danielson had a promo or whatever segment from last night, and that was from Revolution. And one thing, and I don't really care what he said throughout the entire thing, the main thing is, it's time for me to go home. And everyone is speculating retirement. I don't think he's going to retire. If he retires, I'm going to be shocked after the match he had. But I also got to think he had a 65-minute match. At his stage of the career, he had a 65-minute match. He needs to get props for that, just for that, and all the injuries sustained over his career. But also, but he also, when he means by go home, it could be either retiring or he could be going to Ring of Honor. If he goes to Ring of Honor, man, we're getting old Bryan Danielson. So that is that. I will be going over NFL stuff later on today. And one more other thing. Let me know what I need to do better in my podcast to attend more viewers, get more people to start liking it. Like I said, I've only been doing this for a couple days now, so it's not going to be big right now. But but that's what I want. I want to have a big podcast audience here. So, and all I need is help, and that's pretty much. I just need help from people that I can attend the viewers to. But what I did tell you last night, I was going to be doing my favorite wrestlers, but I also figured what I was going to do and later dates. So I was thinking about it last night, and what I'm going to do, either Friday, Saturday, maybe Monday of next week, I'm going to go through the AEW roster. Actually, I'm going to go through AEW and WWE roster. And I'm going to put down in what category I think they should be in, like world title, mid-card, tag team, women's, whatever, or need to be fired list. I will be doing that sometime down the future, so stay tuned in for that. But for right now, we're going to be going over my favorite wrestlers. We're going to be going over my favorite tag teams. I'm going to start from 10 to 1 here. My 10, I'm going to shock you a little bit. It's going to be Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. I am loving their tag team appearance. And I get they only been a tag team for like a couple months now, but like I said, I'm starting to love them a lot. So they're one of my favorite tag teams. My next favorite, at number 9, Dark Order. I wasn't really watching AEW when Brody King was in charge and all that, and then I went and watched a lot of older Dark Order stuff, and I kind of fell in love with Dark Order. So, and now with Dark Order, I love Dark Order now too. So great to see that. They're number 9. Number 8, the Wyatt family. Wyatt family have always been since 2015, 2016, before they kind of split it all up. Wyatt family is one of my favorites on the roster. 7, Bloodline, Usos, whatever you want to call them. They're one of my favorite factions, because I'll put tag teams in with factions for this one. And plus the storytelling, even though I can... And one thing I'll tell you, if I'm able to predict their matches and how it's going to go, it's not going to be fun to watch them, but I still love watching them, even though I can still predict their matches and how it goes. Next is the Heenan family, and I'm talking about everyone in the Heenan family. I am currently going back and watching older episodes. I'm going back in time here, watching older episodes right now. I'm in 1989. So right now I'm going through that Heenan family stuff right now. And, I love the Heenan family. My 2 favorites so far in that one is Andre and King Harley Race. So they're my 6 favorite. Money Incorporated is with Ted DiBiase, IRS. At one point, Bam Bam was with them. All that. So that's my 5th favorite. 4th, the Briscoes. I didn't start watching the Briscoes until last year. And when I first seen the Briscoes, I fell in love. I loved watching them. I love their promos. I pretty much loved everything about them. So that is my 3rd favorite tag team. Third favorite is Brothers of Destruction. Kane and Undertaker are some of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So when you put them 2 together, one of my favorite tag teams together. Number 2 is FTR. I was there when they were the Revival. I was there when they... And, last year or so, I've been watching them as FTR. I think they're better now as FTR than they were ever the Revival. So, that's that. And then number 1, probably without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best tag teams of all time, DX, with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. The comedy, pretty much. Them, comedy-wise, was one of the best. And that's pretty much what made me fall in love with DX so much. So, my favorite women wrestlers. I have 5 down. So my number 5 will be Mickie James. And it was really not until about 2017 is when I really started liking Mickie James. Like before, I was really not much of a Mickie James fan up until 2017 when she rejoined WWE. So, and then when she went to Impact and Impact World Champion, became one of my favorite women wrestlers. So, on number 4 is Asuka. Asuka, she's the craziest bitch in the world. That's all I really gotta say. Mandy Rose is the number 3. I've been a huge Mandy Rose fan for like the past 2 or 3 years now. So, great to see her with the NXT title, women's title, and well, when she lost, I kind of was upset. And when she got released, I was really upset. So, number 2, in my opinion, the greatest wrestler of all time, Charlotte Flair, but she's not my favorite. Charlotte will always be, in my opinion, the best wrestler of all time, women's wrestler of all time. So Charlotte will always be number 2, and number 1 is Trish Stratus. And there's a lot of reason why I didn't put a lot of older wrestlers down, because back then they used women wrestlers like, divas. So when you put down divas, and a lot of their matches were not that good. So, and Trish was one of those first people that she could do both. She could make something look attractive and also wrestle good. So, Trish will be my number 1, and I'm happy that she's back, and I don't trust her with Lita and them, so that's gotta say about that. And my favorite men wrestlers of all time, one guy caught on my list, and I had to put 11 down here, because LA Knight, has been on my radar the last couple months. And I know how the Wyatt LA Knight rivalry was not, the finish of it was not good, but I still enjoyed every minute of it. Even though the match was short and undisappointing, I have enjoyed that entire thing. I love how LA Knight's getting more of pops now, getting more fan reactions now, so love to see that. 10 is Kane. Like I said, Kane's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, so his theme's one of my favorites of all time, so. And Jericho is number 9. Y2J, The List. The List is really what got me. The List in 2016, 2017 was really what got me there. And that's when I started really loving Jericho. Kenny Omega, number 8. Like I said, I did not really start watching AEW until last year, so I didn't see Kenny until August. And well, since he came back, I've just loved everything Kenny Omega. So Kenny Omega 8, number 7, MJF, in my opinion, up there for one of the best wrestlers right now in the world, and going to be one of the best of all time. Like I said, he's only 26. He has a long time before he calls it a career. So, and one of the best talkers in wrestling, and one of the best wrestlers in wrestling. So, number 6, Kurt Angle, Perk Angle. Comedy-wise and wrestling-wise, Kurt Angle was just always there, He can make you laugh and also let you have a good match at the same time. So, Kurt Angle. Number 5 was Cody Rhodes. And it wasn't just now Cody Rhodes. I loved dashing Cody Rhodes. Before I went to Stardust, I loved dashing Cody Rhodes so much. And when I heard that Cody wanted to come back, and this is when I was really watching AEW fully at this time, I was like, I'm hoping that he comes back as dashing Cody Rhodes. And I didn't realize how good the American Nightmare really was until he came back with the American Nightmare. I'm like, well, thank God he didn't come back dashing Cody Rhodes. So right now, Cody Rhodes is way better than what I ever thought it would be. So, number 4, Roman, your tribal chief, your tribal queef, whatever you want to call him. 900 days as Universal Champion. And I've been a Roman Reigns fan since 2016, 2017. Like, when everyone was hating on Roman, he was my superhero. Like, he was my man right there. So, and then I think the only time I really hated him is when he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's the only time I ever hated him, was when he beat The Undertaker. Because Undertaker is one of my favorites all time, so yeah, that really hurt. Number 3, it's going to be a little weird. It's Bray Wyatt, but it's more the Fiend version. Like, from 2016 to about 2021, favorite Bray Wyatt of all time. And I can, and I know people have hated on this new Bray Wyatt, and it's long, and people could say it's nonsense, whatever. Say what you want about it, but when it comes to, like, a creepy storytelling thing, Bray Wyatt's one of the main guys for that. So, he is now on my number 3. Number 2, The Undertaker. Undertaker was number 1 on my list for a while, and, well, another man has rebirthed into my life, and, well, that sounded gay, but another guy or someone has took that throne over him, and, well, that man is CM Punk. I have always loved CM Punk. I have loved Straight Edge. I loved what he did in 2011 and 2013. And then he got released, and when he came back, it was great. I loved it. And when he comes back this time, I'm gonna be the same reaction like I did the last time. I'm gonna cry. So, that is pretty much all I have for today's episode. Tomorrow I will be doing Impact reactions, what happened on Impact and all that. So, and if you don't like Impact, I will keep you updated with that. So, let me know, what else do you want me to talk about? Like, if you have questions, ask me what I should talk about. Ask me and I will talk about them. I will answer any question you have on this podcast. So, only if they're respectful and nice ones. If they're disrespectful ones, I will not. Because all about on this podcast, I'm all about respect. So, that's pretty much all I really care for is respect. So, have a good day. I will be getting NFL episode later on today. I'm hoping so. If not, I'll get it in Friday. Like I said, there's not really much NFL stuff going on. I will not be talking about it today. But if you want me to, what do you want me to talk about NFL wise? Comment down below. And I will see you later. Stay blessed. Goodbye.